This week, we're caught in a trap. The latest thriller from M. Night Shyamalan. As Josh Hartnett and his on-screen daughter discovered, not all concerts are about music. Some are about survival. Did Trap hold us captive with its suspense, or did we prefer to escape through the fire exit? Find out on this episode of Flick Flops. This is Flick Flops. Before we get started, please hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoy these reviews and would like to see more. We would greatly appreciate it, and it would help our little channel grow.
Did we prefer to escape? Well, Gary, let me do the Rotten Tomatoes real quick. The Rotten Tomatoes, as they say across the pond, critics have this currently sitting at 48%. The audience has it sitting at 67%. So it's not being very well received right off the bat. Does
that say, now this is on, we're recording this on Friday, the day it comes out. What does it give you a review count? How many people have actually reviewed it?
There are 63 critic reviews and 250 plus audience reviews.
All right. So quite a lot of people probably saw it like we did.
Yeah.
Advanced screening. Yeah.
Yeah, because we get privileges to see movies ahead of time.
Yep. It's called getting on the website and buying tickets.
AMC Stubs, not a sponsor.
Oh boy. All right.
So that's where Rotten Tomatoes has it sitting. We were going to discuss quickly where we stand with this thing. So
first, roll that beautiful ratings footage. A quick reminder that our rating system is unconventional. We don't hand out stars, we hand out poos and TPs, up to 5 of them. And just to add more confusion, the more we give, the crappier we think the film is. Crappier, get it? Yeah, it's dumb, but that's the way we do it. Anyway.
That was so good, Gary. You're so good at that. It's like you're doing a live read.
Every single time. Go for it. You want to go first, or you want me to? Because I'm super prepared.
I will go first with my ranking, rating this thing. Gary, I come in hot and steamy with 3 poos.
Hot and steamy with 3.
Hot and steamy.
All right. Well, I can assure you that you will have plenty to clean up the hot and steamy with my 4.
Wow.
TPs.
Yeah.
4 TPs on that puppy.
Yeah. So
he's serious about this. Did you see how he sat up?
I had to sit up. I'm in my full lean back and I'm serious about having fun. Do you want to start with your breakdown of this thing, or? I don't want to step on toes. We had a little pre-production stuff, and I mentioned
where to start.
Save
where
it.
To start? I will say one thing. I did see the initial trailer to this back. This is kind of common practice now for me. If I see a trailer, I lock that in. That's something I'm interested in, and I don't watch anything else. That's the new, don't watch anything. I took my sister-in-law and my wife last night to see this movie, and they both asked, "What's it about?" I said, "It's an M. Night Shyamalan movie." And that's all I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
Because don't even bother watch a trailer.
Yeah.
You'll find out when you get there. It might be a better experience for you. So I didn't know a whole lot about it, other than I did know the premise from the first trailer, which is dad taking his daughter to a Taylor Swift concert, and he's actually a bad guy, and he's trapped there. They've set this whole thing up just to trap him. That's about all I knew from it. And then as soon as the movie started and the credits were going, I saw it was like music and stuff from, what was her name?
Salika
Shyamalan. And I was like, oh, okay. So he's, much like we had recently reviewed The Watchers, where Night Shyamalan directed the movie. Maybe I guess this is another daughter now. And this is what I'm assuming. I don't have any idea. But, but I guess this is another daughter that's actually in the music business, and she's wanting to be a musician and push her music forward. Yeah. And it was kind of like an interesting note, but it became kind of a red flag shortly into the movie.
Very shortly.
So I'll cut to you and let you take over from here for now, and then we'll kind of wrap our heads around the whole movie.
Let me check one thing real quick. I want to see something if I can find the number I was looking for.
It becomes quite clear early in the movie that this is like a showcase for his daughter's talent.
I'm doing my damnedest to find the budget for this, and I just don't have that information in front of me. So let's just assume Gary can maybe find it and put it in here. But he got a budget to make this movie.
Budget.
Okay, and this literally is basically a vehicle for his daughter's singing career.
Yes.
That's what I saw. That's how I felt the entire time I'm watching this movie. I'm like, wow. So this is just nepotism.
Yeah.
It's, to me, it seemed like he wrote a film to showcase his daughter's singing.
Written around his daughter.
A incredibly ridiculous premise.
Yes.
And look, let me preface this because we're about to do some shit in here. I like M. Night. I'm in. I'm in on everything he makes. I will always go see his films.
Yes.
Always. He's got me. He's earned that with his previous work. And while I won't say this film is garbage, do you need to rush out and see this? No, you do not.
Nope.
Because you'll come away with the same feeling that Gary. I'm sure Gary has the same feeling I was. So M. Night. I'm trying to form my words. M. Night is known for his massive twists.
Yeah.
So the whole time you're trying to, because you're like, you know what you're up against. If you're expecting a massive twist, it does not pay off. There is no massive twist.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say
how long it takes you to figure out that, oh, that's his daughter on stage.
Yeah,
the whole movie's around his daughter.
Yeah.
And Gary, let me jump in here real quick. I told you I wanted to read something, so bear with me. I'm going to pull something up here. I'm reading here. This is on Wikipedia. You can look this up. October 2022, Universal Pictures announced a then untitled film from filmmaker M. Night Shyamalan. February 2023, the film is revealed to be titled Trap. When it changed distributors, blah, 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 the film sprouted from conversations with Shyamalan had with his daughter, singer-songwriter Salika, about combining the concert and theatrical experience and devising an album for a narrative. Similar, Gary, stay with me here, similar to Prince in Purple Rain.
That's a travesty. I think a crime has been committed right there.
That's like me saying, I feel like I'm skinny today. Yeah, I mean, sure. Anyway, he planned to have another filmmaker write the script, which maybe he should have done. He had the idea for the thrower set at a concert before changing his mind, realizing he could make the film with Salika. The premise was inspired in part by Operation Flagship, a sting operation in which disguised law enforcement arrested 101 wanted fugitives at a convention center, having invited them under the pretense of gifting them free NFL tickets and an opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid trip to Super Bowl 20. I think this had to do with the LA Raiders back in the day. And I've heard about this before. But anyway, I'm almost done. Shyamalan pitched Trap. Check this out, guys. He pitched it as a setting, The Silence of the Lambs at a Taylor Swift concert. Give me a check.
That's the elevator pitch?
Yeah, so you're in the elevator with the head of Warner Brothers. And listen, I got an idea. Go, man. You're M. Night Shyamalan. Give me the Sixth Sense. Next one you're going to do. You like the Silence of the Lambs, right? Fucking brilliant. Silence of the Lambs. Yeah.
It puts Taylor the lotion Swift. On. Okay. Yeah.
Taylor Swift concert.
All right, I'm listening. Yeah,
no, that's it.
Oh, that's it?
That is it.
Here's a check.
Thank you. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to start my daughter the whole time. My daughter's going to.
I'm sorry, what was that last part?
Hey, good. We're going to film it in Philadelphia like I do on my shows. So, no problem there. We're going to tax credit. Starring my daughter.
Wait, you keep something under the breath keeps happening right there.
Well, because I do twists, so it's a big twisty film. I'm working on a twist that starring my daughter.
Well, I'm sorry, right there again. See, there's another thing right there that you keep right there.
The twist thing.
Yeah, the twist.
Yeah, I'm going to do the twist starring my daughter.
Right,
and but she's going to write all the film, the music.
Something about water. I heard something about water.
Right,
it's so like another signs thing.
First, what are signs? Yes, water is bad.
Okay.
Starring my daughter. So good. The check will cash, right? This is good. This is solid.
And scene. So, dude, this movie, like any movie I go into of his, there is, of course, the twist thing. I never actually considered there being one for this. I don't know why. I guess because the premise, basically, right off the bat who the bad guy is. So I don't know what twist they could offer you. I didn't really look for anything like that. Maybe somebody could think that the ending there's an open question that I had throughout the movie. I'm not going to spoil anything in case you do go see this this movie.
Whoa, wow.
But there's a question I had from the get-go.
Okay.
And I'll just tell you this part because it's obvious from the trailer. How did they even know to set up the trap? That's my question to the whole movie. Now, maybe you could this is a very big stretch. Maybe you can consider the way that it's figured out as a twist. I don't really think so. By the time that part of the movie happens, I was so uninterested in the rest of it that I was just really waiting for the credits to roll.
I was like, come on, just end. I got it.
But I will say that through the movie, I was very forgiving through a lot of the first part of the movie because I was like, this is an interesting premise. And I am kind of interested to see how this is going to play out because there's a lot of setup to this. But the problem I have with it is the dialogue's goofy. And sometimes that's a Shyamalan thing. Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
like Josh Hartnett. Not in this, I did not.
Yeah, I did not either. And I was going to say something about the acting because then we have a new actor that participates later in the film. But through some of that dialogue, which I thought was kind of cheesy on a lot of the parts, and it's almost like, hey, I'm going to ask this one thing, or I'm going to hear this one thing that's going to be a possible way that this thing is going to be sprung on me, and I'm going to just ask one question and instantly get the information I need to bypass that thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So all that stuff happens. And then so for a while, you're kind of like a little maybe invested in it. I was forgiving on that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But it gets to some point, maybe midway or so, where I'm like, okay, like this is getting ridiculous. And then the whole after the trap thing, that whole part is dumb. It's just dumb. The daughter, who's not the daughter in the movie, but the M. Night's daughter,
Lady Raven,
she becomes part of the whole thing.
Which, come on,
and she's look. I guess she sings good. That's not my style of music. Maybe that's great. The acting is terrible, and it loses. I mean, it loses it the rest of the way for me. Like it gets to that point, I'm done. I'm checking out. I was just ready for it to end. I don't know. I'm bored talking about it.
Yeah. Look, I'll just say, I mean, the problems you're going to have with this movie, and if you do go see it, go see it. I mean, it's just the problems you're going to have is, and again, you've said millions of times, Gary, when you go into a movie, you have to suspend reality. I get all that. There's so much that is not plausible. Just is not. This chain events could not have happened. It just couldn't. It makes zero sense to do this. You know, plus you don't get any build up to why they're so on point to get this guy.
True. Yeah. Good
Except
point.
from the concession guy.
Right.
Who, by the way, I think steals the movie.
I have a comment on that. I'm going to save it towards.
But I've worked in venues like that. I don't know, man. It's just, I wanted this to be so much better. And I was just, while I won't say I was disappointed, I was just like, oh, God, now I got to try to defend this movie to people. I got to still tell people why M. Night Shyamalan is a good filmmaker, because I think he is a good filmmaker. But I just truly believe this was totally a vehicle to get his daughter showcased. And I mean, I think that's sad. I just think that's not great. Great. He's got the ability to do it. And if we could do it for our kids, I'm sure we would. But man, you could have done this in a much different way.
Yeah.
You could have had I mean, you could have had a better script and have her as a person who does the soundtrack. Just let her do the soundtrack.
Yeah. That's true.
Acting. I mean, it's so unbelievable that she takes this lead role at the end. Yeah. And then she becomes like the person who's going to try to capture the killer. Like, come the fuck on.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry about my language. I just was like, oh, no, like, I don't believe any of this. Now, I will say this. The girl who played the daughter in the movie, his daughter, I thought was fantastic.
Yeah, she was really good.
I've taken my daughter to a Katy Perry and a Taylor Swift concert, and that's how they act.
Yeah, yeah.
But like all his nervous, twitchy stuff, it doesn't track with his character. To me, it didn't track at all. This guy's a methodical killer with OCD. Yet he's constantly back and forth and nervous energy and like, well, hey, let's jump down there. Hey, let's go up here. Oh, I gotta go do this. I'm gonna climb up on top of the building. Like, what?
Yeah,
that is not how Hannibal Lecter acted.
Well, another thing
that is not Silence of the Lambs.
You brought up the fact that you don't really know the backstory too much about him, other than what you said through the concession stand character. Another thing that you don't get either is the profiler that they have is such a mysterious character that, like, I don't know why it was necessary, other than that was a famous actress. Why do we keep putting her in there? Right, you know, like what is that for? And if you're going to show her that much, I feel like there has to be something to do with that character then. And there's just not. It's just
show us the build up to why she's so invested.
Yeah.
Show us in the room with all the yarn going across the room and all that. And like,
you know what? Perhaps there was room for that in this movie if there wasn't so much emphasis put on getting his daughter on stage.
Cut, I don't know, 5 of the songs out.
Because you almost, you don't hear full songs, I don't think, but you come close. You come close to hearing a bunch of full songs.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I will say, I thought the note that makes it apparent for me that it's the writing that's so bad in this is when the credits start to roll, there's a cut. There's a cut scene. It comes back to one of the other characters.
Right.
And I won't ruin that in case somebody does watch it and maybe somebody finds it entertaining. I heard a couple of people in our theater laugh. I was like, oh, this is a great moment. I was like, this is cool. This is a good thing. Like a good way to, and I thought it just fell flat. I was like, it's not funny. That dude, that could have been a great line written for that part.
Yeah. And it was a good callback.
It was a good callback, but it was so flat. I was like, even that. And Tara had said something like, something about it. And I was like, that's awful. Like, cause that could have been good and it just wasn't.
Yeah. Well, M. Night, look, buddy, call me on the next one. I'll be happy to throw some pointers at you. I mean, look, I've got a long list of successful. Oh, wait, no, I don't. Listen, I'm going to always go see your films. I mean, I'm in on you, but this one, I was caught in a trap. I couldn't leave on this one. And I was like, God, I just want to go home.
I was disappointed. I will say I've calmed down a little bit, but when I left, like immediately when it was over, I was actually mad.
I wanted to talk to you at the end of that. I was like, God, I just want to talk to Gary.
I was angry about it. It's funny because and this morning when I got up and thought about it a little bit more, I was like, well, I mean, I was kind of entertained a little bit for a little bit.
Exactly.
And then it just fell apart. But I guess, I don't know, maybe that's the thing. There was a little bit of promise to it, but then it became really apparent what it really was, a vehicle for his daughter, and therefore writing around that, which I don't think is a great way to write something. And it just fell flat and
listen,
disappointing. I would wait till streaming.
Once we're done recording, there's a moment where I thought there was going to be a twist. I want to discuss with you to see if you thought it was. I won't give it away here because some people might go see it and they might see the same thing I saw, and maybe they'll be heightened and then completely disappointed.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's all I got. Look, man, M. Night, I love you, buddy, but just go bribe a record exec to get your daughter a contract. Don't do this with a film, man. That's a bad move.
Yeah. And I'll just say, if anybody's still watching, if you plan to go see this movie,
please chime in on this one.
Like if you give a crap about our opinion about it, like if you fall in line with either Andy or me on, hey, usually I kind of agree with him. I'm just going to tell you that I would go see Deadpool again before I would put money into seeing this. So if I was you, if you're going to the theater, go see a better movie. And
look, this is going to be on streaming services in about a week.
Right. Watch it then, and then come back and tell us how right we were about.
Just wait this one out. I mean, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to ruin the guy's career. Just wait it out.
No, I mean, it's not going different. It's not going to.
He's probably got another daughter. He's going to make into something anyways.
Please like, comment, subscribe, and if you do go see Trap, if you're as mad as we are, I don't know. I guess I'm not mad anymore. Just disappointed. Please write it down in the comments and let us know what you thought. We appreciate it.
It's a trap,
and we're caught in it.
This has been a Touch of Madness production, brought to you by the creative minds at Tommy Twins Media.